What's going on, true believers? Welcome to another episode of One Shot. I am your host, Jacob. And yep, new location for this video. Might be permanent. We'll see what I can get set up here. Tell me what you think. um, Man, I thought this week was going to be light, just like the last couple weeks, but man, they hit me with probably like 20 something books at my comic shop. And since there are so many books, let's get into it. First on my list is Alien. This is number 4, and man, I am loving this series. Marvel has done a fantastic job. I know I've said it before, I did not think Marvel would do the Alien series justice, but they seem to have caught on pretty quickly to what this franchise needs to be, and they are knocking it out of the park with this one. I feel like it's getting pretty close to the end of the story arc. The only thing I have to say about this book is I pretty much hate every character in it except for the synthetic Bishop. He's the only one that I really care about. So these are not nice people in this book, but it's been really good so far. One I kind of picked up last minute, Fantastic Four 33. This is Doctor Doom's Wedding. I was kind of interested to see how this one would play out. Haven't been reading the series at all, but the fact that he was getting married kind of made me want to get into this a little more. And man, so he's invited all the Fantastic Four and people from across the globe, other heroes and stuff, to hit Latveria for his wedding, and he's said pretty much, if you show up, any beef that we've had in the past, we'll squash all of it. Everybody seemed to have beef with him except Johnny Storm. But by the end of the book, we realize that Johnny Storm kind of is the one he has the most beef with, and it kind of ruins everything. So I'm not going to spoil too much, but it was an interesting read, a little fun. Good to see Doom rage. I'm going to do all 3 of these at once because they all kind of tie together. So I have Darth Vader number 12, Dr. Aphra 10, and Star Wars 14. So these are all War of the Bounty Hunters tie-ins. And honestly, the only one I really liked the most was probably Darth Vader. I'm not really reading any of these series from start to finish. I'm just buying the tie-ins. But the Darth Vader one is the one that made me want to probably go back and get more issues of it. But like I said, Dr. Aphra's was kind of boring, and for the most part, I didn't see anything that tied it into War of the Bounty Hunters. Star Wars was just kind of okay. It was a little more boring. But Darth Vader, the artwork was fantastic. The writing was good, and it tied it in pretty well to War of the Bounty Hunters. I believe that Darth Vader and Dr. Aphra were supposed to come out maybe last month, according to the calendar in the back of the book. And it was supposed to come out before the War of the Bounty Hunters number 1 did, but that wasn't the case. So maybe I kind of missed something in the continuity, but I mean, it is what it is. 7 Secrets. This is issue number 9. This has been a great series for me so far. This one it was kind of more of a filler book, but it was a setting up for something big to happen book. If you've been reading this, tell me your thoughts on it, because I really enjoyed this one. It's been kind of slow pace towards the beginning, but when it pops off, and um, we're we're learning a bit more about the secrets and the keepers and the seekers in this book. So um, definitely keep your eye out for like trades for that one, because I know this we're almost to issue number 10 now, uh, and it definitely probably would read better in trade format. This Essentia, issue number 5. This book, it started out really great. This one was a huge disappointment. I don't know what happened. This says it was, I mean, according to this, it says it came out in May. It came out today. Um, and I don't know if it got pushed back because of problems with the printers or whatever, but man, the inside of this book looks awful. It's like super low resolution pictures. Like I could have printed them off at my printer downstairs. It just looks bad. But we did learn a bit more about the killer and why he's doing what he's doing. There are adult themes in this book. I won't get into what they are, but they are pretty dark. So this is definitely not a book for everybody. And man, this book, such a big disappointment because it started out so good. What didn't disappoint me was Radiant Black, issue number 5. That last issue, issue number 4, left off with such a huge cliffhanger. I was I didn't know how they were going to recover from that, and man, did this book did not disappoint. It came back with a vengeance, and this is a good series. If you are not on this series, you need to get on this one for sure. Radiant Black is fantastic. Now, in previous issues, we learned that there are at least 2 suits kind of like this. We learned that there are at least 2 more in this one. And they're setting up for some type of big bad. And they're all going to have to start working together. So, Radiant Black, high on my list right now. Another good one, Nightwing. This is 81. This is what I would consider to be the first full appearance of Heartless. They were saying it was going to be last week, but that was definitely more of a cameo. He just kind of shows up at the end. This one, he actually appears throughout the book. He winds up in a fight with Nightwing, and he is something different for sure. I don't think we've seen a character like him before, and I'm super excited to see more of him. But this has been a really good book, really good read. Definitely recommend Nightwing. Stillwater, issue number 8. This was kind of more of another filler book for the week. Chip Zdarsky is a great storyteller, but this one was kind of the sophomore slump. We're learning more about a new character that came to town, and we're just learning her backstory in this book, and then she shows up where the last one left off. So this was an okay book, but the series overall is pretty good. A new series this week from Scout Comics. This is Redshift. So, from what I can ascertain from this, I wound up reading it, but what I can figure out is it seems like Earth is uninhabitable. So, people have been living on Mars and farming ice, and it seems like the ice is starting to run out. So, they have these people that they send out into space to kind of look for the Earth-like planets called Voyagers, and this kid who was studying to be one and then dropped out is now picked to be a Voyager like his mother was. Most of the people that go out as Voyagers, as far as I know, none of them have come back. So he's being sent to this planet that is hopefully like Earth. Um, this was this was definitely a really good book. It surprised me, honestly. Um, yeah, recommend this book if you can find this one. Definitely hop on it if you like space and colonization of space. That one's definitely going to be a good one for you. Black Friday, issue number 3. I believe this is the last one in the series, and I am glad kind of that it's over. It did not turn out to be what I was hoping for. What the story was is it's Black Friday. Black Friday's over. The mega store is kind of closed down, and the staff are there cleaning up the mess. And they discovered that because of all the negativity or something, I guess, that there's a portal that opens to hell, essentially, and demons come out and they attack the staff every year. And it was okay. It was 3 issues of people just getting, running and then dying, running and then dying, and then there was no real fight back until the very end, very end, and then the last scene was kind of like, wow, it could have gone. This could have been so much better, but it's over. It's only 3 issues, and it was okay. Not what I wanted. Keanu Reeves, Berserker, number 3. This is the foil edition. That's why it's so shiny. First issue was fantastic. We have this character going around tearing stuff apart. Next issue, what do we have? That character, his backstory, going around tearing stuff apart. This issue, what is he doing? More backstory, more him going around tearing things apart. It seems like we're starting to get into less of his backstory and more of where he's at currently. For those of you who don't know, this character has been around since almost caveman days, and he can't die. And he's kind of working with this military group so they can find a way for him to die. He doesn't want to die, but he wants the option if he ever wanted to, But it's been a good book. If you just like ripping and tearing of enemies, this is the book for you. Silver Coin, issue number 3. This one was definitely, I don't know if it was better, but it definitely had more of the coin involved in the story. The last book kind of was like the silver coin was more of an afterthought. As far as this one goes, it was very prominent. It was definitely a different story. I still think the first story was the best, but this one wasn't bad. And I think, Chip Zdarsky did the first one, and I think he's doing the next one. So I'll definitely be picking up the next one. Hopefully it's just as good as the first one. But this, for like little short horror stories, kind of Twilight Zone-y, it's not a bad read. Something I'm absolutely in love with right now, Nottingham. This is issue number 4. I am finally caught up in this series. And this book was no different. This has been a phenomenal series from issue 1. The sheriff is kind of they make him more interesting, not just I'm gonna come out and get you, Robin Hood. No, he's actually got a Sherlock Holmes like brain where he's solving. He's doing a lot of detective work in some of these, like the killer was left-handed. You can tell because of this and this and this. And yeah, it's definitely a really good read. Robin Hood is kind of a dick. Maid Marian is trying to exploit things and do her own thing, and he's just kind of like moping around. I'm just doing my job. I'm just here until I retire. But he's good at what he does, and this has been a phenomenal read. Highly recommend this one. I think some of the first issues might be a little hard to get a hold of, so if you want to wait for a trade, I think this is only going to be 5 or 6 issues long anyway, so just wait for that. Definitely pick up this story. Very gory though, so. Alright. A few things that I kind of just dug around in the back bins. I picked up Old Man Quill. Got as many of the run as I could. Issue number 1, 2, there. Issue 3, issue 5, issue 6, and 7. This is a 12-part miniseries. I ordered number 4. It is coming in the mail. But I don't know if any of you guys that have been reading have seen the Old Man Starlord podcast that's been advertised, but I have been listening to that story, and I've been thoroughly enjoying it. So I thought I would pick up these books. I believe it's not exactly the same thing, but it kind of is in the same realm. And I've been wanting to read more since that podcast I've been listening to came out. So I picked up all of these. Hopefully it's a good series. I picked up some more Chip Zdarsky's Spider-Man. This is the Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man 2. I had 1 last week, so I picked up 2 this week. And 3. I've been wanting to get into that series a lot more. Now that I know that Chip Zdarsky did a Spider-Man, and it's got to be loads better than anything Spencer's been putting out. Couple dollar bin finds here. I got Peter Parker Spider-Man. This is 56. Reborn Part 1. The artwork really drew me in. I'm not usually a big fan of the newer kind of like 2000s Spider-Man, but this one looked like it. The artwork was a lot better in it. And then I picked up Punisher, Captain America, Blood and Glory. This is book number 1. It's got an embossed cover. It's pretty cool. And now I'll have to be on the lookout for 2 and 3. If 2 people should never have joined up together, it's probably these 2. But that's what probably makes this book super interesting, and that is why I picked it up. And it was only $1, so why not? And then, last but not least, what did I get in the mail? Black Panther. This was the final issue, the Gleason Virgin variant. Thought that was really cool. I kind of wish that the Peach Momoko had a Virgin variant, because that cover was fantastic, and I would have bought that over this one. But I do enjoy Gleason covers. I think there's maybe 2 that I don't have, and that's okay because they're not my favorites. The Man Thing and the Eddie Brock coming out of the Venom suit. But other than that, that's all I have for you this week. If you could, drop down below, leave a like, leave a comment. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, what you want to see, what you rather I not do anymore. I'm all ears, just trying to make this channel the best I can. But until next week, keep reading, and I will see you again for another episode of One Shot.